You know, the internet is for the most part an incredible place for our kids. It's where they learn, where they connect, where they play. But let's be real, that same digital world has a dark side, a playground with some very real, hidden dangers that every single one of us needs to understand.
So I want you to think about this for a second. When your kids are online, laughing and chatting, do you really know who's on the other side of that screen? Because the truth is, the platforms they absolutely love are the exact same places where predators are actively hunting.
So that brings us to the big question, where? Well, it's pretty simple, really. Predators go where the kids are. They've managed to turn some of the most popular apps and games into their own digital hunting grounds, and we've got to know which ones they are. Okay, let's start with gaming, because it's not just about scoring points anymore. These huge, immersive worlds like Roblox or the role-playing servers for Grand Theft Auto, the ones called FiveM, they are ground zero. It's so easy for a predator to build trust there. You know, they'll help a kid with a mission, gift them some in-game stuff, and suddenly they're a trusted friend. It feels totally natural.
And if you think that sounds a little alarmist, just read this quote. It's chilling. An expert who actually hunts these guys calls FiveM a big one. Why? Because inside these games, you have kids 14 years old engaging in virtual sexual activity with adults in their 30s and 40s. That line between fantasy and a really dangerous reality just gets completely erased.
And this is a key part of their playbook. The conversation almost never stays in the game. The goal is always to move the child from that public gaming world into a private chat app. That's where it gets serious. It's less monitored, it's one-on-one, and it's where the real danger truly begins.
And here are the specific tools of the trade. Look, experts are really blunt about this. They say keep your kids away from Discord and Telegram, period. That's where these dangerous links get passed around. Then you have sextortion schemes. They often kick off on Snapchat, and then they move over to Instagram to get more leverage over the victim's social life. Kik is just notorious for scams and solicitation. And yeah, even on a huge platform like TikTok, scammers are figuring out how to steal kids' login info.
Okay, so we know where they're hiding. Now let's talk about how they do it. We have to understand their methods to have any chance of building a defense. And believe me, these are not simple little tricks. They are sophisticated attacks, both psychologically and technically.
First up, we have to define this term, sextortion. It's a particularly nasty form of blackmail. A predator will convince or coerce a kid into sending an explicit photo or video. The second they get it, the dynamic flips. That friendly relationship is over. Now, that photo is a weapon they use to threaten public humiliation, unless the victim gives them what they want, which is usually more photos or money.
And if you're wondering how big of a deal this is, just look at this number, 8 times. Reports of this crime have shot up more than 8-fold since just 2019. This is not some small, isolated problem. It's an absolute epidemic, and it is hitting young people the hardest. Now, this might surprise you, but one of the most frequent targets is late teen and early 20s males, and there's a biological reason for it. The part of the brain that handles rational decision-making and impulse control, it isn't fully wired up in guys until their mid-20s. Predators know this, and they exploit that gap between emotional impulse and rational thinking. And this is literally a line from their script. It is so manipulative. The scammer sends an explicit photo first, one they've probably stolen from someone else, and then they hit the victim with this. They're turning a request into a test of trust. And for a teenager who thinks they're in a real relationship, the fear of breaking that trust can be more powerful than the fear of the risk. So beyond the mind games, they've got technical weapons too. This one's called Stealer malware. The best way to think about it is like a digital Trojan horse. It's disguised as something a kid would want, maybe a cheat for a game. They might even charge $5 for it just to make it seem legit, but its real job? To steal every last bit of sensitive information from that device. So here's exactly how it goes down. A kid downloads the bait. As soon as it's installed, it activates, silently, in the background. And from that moment on, it's sending a steady stream of data. Passwords, saved credit card info from a parent, emails, everything, straight to a private server controlled by the hacker. It's a total invasion, and it all starts with just one click.
And this, right here, is where everything changes. This is where the threat level goes from digital to physical. Because stealing data isn't just about money or passwords. It's about finding out where your child is, physically. It's about closing that gap between their screen and your front door.
Here's the trick.
The predator sends a picture and says, "Hey, you have to click this link to see the full version." That link is the trap. The first click grabs their IP address, which gives a general location. But then it redirects to a fake page, like an age verification pop-up. The second the victim clicks yes, they've just given that site permission to access their phone's GPS, sending their exact real-time location straight to the attacker.
And why do they want that location? Why is that the end game? Well, the source material is terrifyingly direct about this. This information allows traffickers to, quote, go pick them up or go get them at the school. This is it. This is the moment an online threat walks out of the screen and into the real world.
Okay, I know that was a lot. It's heavy stuff, but knowing what we're up against is the first step. So now, let's pivot. Let's talk about what we can actually do. This isn't about being scared, it's about being prepared. It's about creating an action plan for your family.
All right, for parents, it starts right here. You have to be the gatekeeper for apps. If you remember one thing, it's this. Keep your kids off Discord and Telegram. You need to have those awkward, direct conversations about sextortion and how people manipulate you online. Make it a hard and fast rule. We do not download things from strangers. But honestly, the most important thing, create a home where your kid knows without a doubt they can come to you if something feels wrong and they won't get in trouble.
And for kids and teens, the rules have to be simple and non-negotiable. First, never, ever, ever share intimate photos online. I don't care who it is. Second, if someone is pressuring you for secrets, for money, for anything, that is a massive red flag. Third, don't click on links or download files from people you don't know in real life. And fourth, the second someone makes you feel scared, uncomfortable, or pressured, you tell a trusted adult. And listen to me on this last one because it's the most important. If something like this happens, it is 100% not your fault. You are the victim, and you will not get in trouble for telling someone.
And that really leaves us with the central challenge, doesn't it? Our world is built on sharing, on connecting with each other. And our job, as tough as it is to teach our kids how to navigate all of that safely, how to be cautious without building up so many walls that they lose their ability to connect and to trust at all. That's the balance we all have to work to find.